Braylen Brooks is in the house. We're talking about manifestation, magical, mindfulness, everything, and nothing better than a fashion blogger, travel, all of the above.
Yes.
What's up, honey?
Hi, how are you? I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Braylen, you are AKA the real life mannequin.
Yes.
Tell us what that means to you. I mean, beyond just obviously looking like a real life mannequin.
Well, I'll tell you about a little bit how the name started. So before I began doing what I'm doing today, I used to work at the Navy Exchange in San Diego, and sometimes I would stand really still and I would be really decked out, dapper, and I would make me move, and somebody would be like, oh my God, we thought you were a mannequin. So when I initially wanted to launch a platform, I thought about calling it the Real Life Mannequin because it made sense, but the Real Life Mannequin is more so about creating real life experiences that won't go unnoticed. And so I have a pretty, interesting story how I started about, I once lived on Skid Row for a year, and at the same time I was interviewing celebrities on the red carpet at.
Okay, wait. We don't know the story.
Oh, you don't know the story? Yeah.
So tell us, take us there.
Okay.
What happened?
So I moved to LA back in 2010, and just like anybody who has like dreams, they struggle, they go through things, and I remember I called my mom one day, and I never told my family, so I kept it a secret from my family. But how I got into luxury travel fashion blogging to now, I called my mom one day. I said, Mom, there's a red carpet event going on outside of Sephora, which I was there working doing makeup at the time, and I was like, I'm just gonna start crashing, So I started in my group of friends. I became notorious for crashing the Grammys, Golden Globes. I even crashed the Grammys red carpet 3 times before I actually came. Really, yeah. So. But I met this woman who was starting a media outlet on YouTube, so she thought it would be cool to do go to different premieres and things like that, interview public figures, talk about fashion. So I started doing that. So that's how I kind of built up my platform on YouTube initially, and then.
Meanwhile, you were living on Skid Row.
Yes, I was. So I kept it a secret for I lived on Skid Row for about a year and a half, yeah.
I think this is a really, really important conversation, and I don't want this to just be glossed over because for so many people who are doing some of the most glamorous things in Hollywood, it's going unpaid, unfunded, or unnoticed in a way that you ended up homeless.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you are at the most glamorous events.
And it's, So it's so funny because red carpet was for like 2 years before I actually they got funded to be able to support me to do hosting. And then, so it became really cool because I would interview like French Montana or talk to Mark Cuban, and they're like, oh, I like your outfit. So I was like, well, maybe I should start reaching out to brands to sponsor. This was before influencer became a term, and then it's like, on Instagram, I would share my pictures in a really unique way. So
you recognized a business opportunity for yourself.
I did, and we pitched my reel to do that, so that way we could get sponsorship from other brands. So that way I wouldn't obviously be on Skid Row forever.
That's so important. Because rather than waiting to be discovered or having somebody else give you an opportunity, you created opportunity for yourself.
Yes.
And that is the key to surviving Hollywood.
Right, and when I came out to the story, my mom was like, well, you were interviewing this person, and why didn't you ask them for help? And I was just like, well, they have a million people asking for help, and I always just thought about getting it myself. And so, that later launched the RLM Travel Lux, fashion and travel. So, I partner with luxury, boutique, and corporate brands internationally, and I create content for them, video, photo, editorial, and So, and I just launched a travel project in January, so I've been working on that. So I have 20 destinations to fulfill this year.
Wow.
So
And let's talk about Sin Magazine. You were just on the cover, graced the cover, correct?
Yes, so Sin Magazine is a Eastern European based publication that's based in Latvia, but they do sell them in, I think, St. Petersburg and Moscow, so it's like Russian, the Eastern Europe,
Well done, congratulations.
So how that happened was crazy because I was ended up in Latvia, Riga in May of last year on my birthday. My birthday just passed, May 3rd, but
happy belated birthday.
Thank you. So I went to this party and I met this guy, and he was like, and I told him about my story about being, homeless and things. He thought it was really interesting. I had no idea he was editor-in-chief. I thought he was just gonna put it online on a little blog or something. 6 months later, he sent me a picture. It was a real mock-up of an actual cover. And
wow.
Yeah, so it was that happened.
Your resilience and your strength is just so deeply inspiring. In addition, of course, your talent. What would you say has been most helpful to you in terms of networking with people? Because you seem to do a really great job of that. I'm pretty sure you've been in a room with a lot of influential, affluent people. And what I just realized, it never really fazed me in a way, and I think that just kept me grounded because I think when you experience contrast in your life, I was experiencing two major, I was where I would want to be and I could feel it, I could touch it, I could see it.
Where you belong.
Where I belong. Exactly. Thank you. I like that. I was where I belong, but when I was living on Skid Row, where I was, my head wasn't. So I was exposed to like a lot of. I never done drugs or anything, but I was exposed to it. But that even though I was there physically, my mental wasn't there. So it allowed me to like be where I am today. Like go to Europe and like partner with like a luxury like resort and create content and exude what I do best.
Well, congratulations on manifesting
Thank
that
you so
destiny
much.
for yourself. Tell everyone where they can find and follow your journey as the real
Yes,
life mannequin.
you can go to thereallifemannequin.com or Braylen Brooks, BRAYLEN BROKS on Instagram, and that'll lead you to everything as well.
Oh, congratulations. We're excited to follow your journey.
Thank you so much.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning
Thank you so
Lala.
much.